On this episode, what's your plan? Hey everybody, this is the quarter show, and this morning we were talking on our sales muster, as we normally do in the morning. We were talking about what's your plan, and I was talking to one of our sales reps yesterday, and I was saying, look, he had this deal, it's dragging on and on and on. Actually, it wasn't you. I did go over it with you on something else, but it was someone else, and he had the deal, it was dragging on for a long time, and I just plainly asked him, what's your plan? He's like, here's the problem. He's going over the problem. And I'm like, look, what's your plan? Good, what's your plan, right? And the truth is, we get caught up in the problem and what's happening on the prospect side and all these different things. But ask yourself, what is your plan? Which means, what is the roadmap? What are you going to do? And how are you going to do it? You need to have a clear plan of action. Now, I use the analogy playing tennis, and I don't play tennis. I have played tennis. I don't play tennis, but I think it's a great analogy in sales because you have two people on the court, right? You got your side, you got their side. That player on the other side of the court is going to do whatever they're going to do, right? They're going to run around. They're going to hit the ball somewhere. You don't know if they're going to, top spin or where they're going to hit, or they're going to hit over here or over there. You don't know, and you can't control that player. There's not a damn thing you can do about that player, about where they're going to go and where they're going to hit it. What you can control is how you react to where they hit the ball, what your plan is, which in tennis has got to be instantaneous, right? You don't have a lot of time. You got to have a plan, and it's got to be instantaneous, and you have to execute, which means you can react, you can plan, and you can execute, okay? And it's the same in sales. It doesn't matter what the opposition is doing. You can't control your prospect per se. You can't control what they're going to do. You can't control how it's going to go. But what you can control is how you react, which means to problem solve, to take what comes at you, problem solve that, come up with a plan, and execute and fire it back, right? And so salespeople will sometimes get in this mode of everything they're talking about is concerned with what's happening on the other side of the court. Like, well, they're doing this and they're doing that and they said this and all these different things and this is what's happening on their side. And I always tell my sales team, it's like, look, I don't care, okay? I don't care. They keep telling me the different things about what's happening on their side, and they're essentially discussing the things that we can't control. It's like, I don't care. I only care about how we react, how we plan, and how we execute. And we just do that over and over again. We just ebb and flow that, right? We react, we plan, we execute. And reacting is just like problem solving. You take each problem, you take the deal a little further, you problem solve that, you take the deal a little further, you problem solve that, you take the deal a little further, you problem solve that. But it's a sequence of reactions, plan, and execute the plan. And ultimately that's how you close deals. So when you're stuck on any deal that you're looking at, look at your deal. You write down your deals, 2, 3 deals, you write down 5 deals, 10 deals, and each deal, ask yourself, what is your plan? Or do you not have a plan, and is all of your attention completely consumed on making up stories for them and what's happening on their side? Like, well, I think John's out of the country right now and he's traveling, and when he gets back, and then Shelly, my contact, is going to get it. Who cares? Forget about all that. React to the data you have, come up with a plan, execute that, and keep doing that over and over again, and you're going to get the deal further. So every single deal, what is your plan? What are you going to do?
And part of the thing, if you find yourself at a standstill or you're not doing anything with a particular prospect or on a particular deal, likely you've made earlier errors in the steps in order to bring them along. You're engaged with the wrong person. You've given them a proposal that they actually don't want. You've tried to force feed them something. Something's happened earlier if you're sitting there and there's no tennis ball coming back your way. Or you're just not being creative because your mindset is already stuck in what Robert's talking about, where it's like, well, the ball's in their court to a degree, or whatever you think. Or, Robert might ask me what's happening with a thing, and I say, well, I sent the proposal to this person, and so what they're going to do is okay, we're already off base, right? I'm already telling him stuff like he mentioned he doesn't care about and he shouldn't care about, right? What am I going to go do, right? What am I going to do next? If you aren't ready to, if there's nothing for you to swing your racket at, you've either, you're either not playing, you're not on the court at all.
Yeah.
You're sitting drinking some water or something, right? Or which means you've made some earlier error in the correct process to sell. Or your mindset's messed up, and you think that what's important is what's going on that side of the court instead of your side.
Yeah, you're like not even in the court in that scenario. You're an announcer. You're doing the narrative.
Hey.
You're doing the narrative to the game.
That's even better.
Which people do sometimes. They're like, well, this is what happened, and they said this. It's like you're just doing the narrative of the play. It's like you're not even on the court. And you got to get in the game, of course. And you have to understand what you're reacting to, have something to react to, have a plan and execute. And the more you do that, I'm actually amazed. Often I talk to sales teams and salespeople and things like that, and I think we're all guilty of it. It just happens. I think you get in the mix of it and you forget. But when you say, what's your plan? People don't really have one. A lot of times they'll think, well, I'm just going to call him. I just need to call John. It's like, that's not a plan. That's a tactical thing that you need to do. It's like, that's not really a plan. Like, okay, let's say you call John. Then what?
Yeah.
Well, and they haven't taken it very far. So when you say, what's the plan? It's like, well, I just need to send this. It's like, actually, that's just a tactical move. What's the plan? Mm-hmm. The plan is
I need to get that proposal on the CFO's desk. I need to make sure I need to call the CFO to make sure it's arrived. I need to answer any questions that there may be. I need to find out any reasons that he might not approve. He or she might not approve. Handle those reasons and get sign off.
Yeah. If they say this, I'm going to do that. If they say this, I'm going to do that. You have a little map on the plan of what you're going to do. You know exactly what you're going to do, and then you go execute it. Because when you do that, your confidence is way up here. Your certainty is way up here. If you got a clear plan and you feel good about your plan, the probability of you closing a deal is really high.
And with this kind of with the shows that we do and the different things that we have, I was thinking about it this morning that I wish I'd known 5 years ago what I know now. I mean, it's just experience, right? Getting experience and repeating something over and over again. A lot of the stuff that Robert and I have been bringing up lately have been weak points right up into present time for me. Like, somewhat weak points in different things. I've got all sorts of weak points and things I can shore up. And experience always, it makes you better and better. But I'm way better than the guy from a few years ago. So I just for anybody watching this, absorbing this kind of data and just starting to think with it, right? And just get as much as you can and stuff like that, and like really examine your sales process. And are you getting to the right person, and are you handling it? And are you reacting, planning, and executing? Are you doing these things? Anyway, it's just something that I thought of this morning.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. And by the way, you always improve and things like that. But by the way, I've seen great players. I've seen players that are incredible, top on our sales team and things like this. And people drop things out. So just keep in mind, you may have done something really successful 2 months ago and you're doing really well. And right now you're maybe in the tank or something. Keep in mind, things drop out. There were successful things that you did.
Yeah, review your actions.
2 months ago that were just crushing it. And it wasn't that November was fantastic. It was that you were fantastic and you did fantastic things in November and you made it great. It's not that January sucks or February sucks. It's that you suck. Currently. No offense. Currently.
And you were great.
You were great.
Now you're not.
Now you suck.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay. It's like, but knowing that is important, right? Knowing that's important because then you can go back and fix it. Yeah. You can go look at like what happened, like what did you drop out and what were you doing 2 months ago that made you fantastic? And then just go and get those things back in. And often it's just things like this. It's like, well, you 2 months ago you had a plan on every single deal. You knew exactly what to do. And today you dropped all that stuff out. It happens to everybody. Every salesperson has ebbs and flows and these peaks and valleys, right? But part of our mission with even having the show and even with our own sales team is like create consistency, consistent growth, right? We want you to be great all the time. And this is for our own sales team and things like that as well. So anyway, that's a little tip for you. I hope that helps. And if you have any comments or questions for the show, leave it in the comment section on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe right there. And of course, hit like right there and share it on social, okay? Thanks very much for watching.